Hello, welcome back to those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel, AdelaLavine, Intuitive and Medium. I took a little break, but here we are. I wanted to bring you something before the holidays, before Thanksgiving, and those of you who might be doing that in the States or any way that's kind of like a shutdown sometimes over here. People just kind of take it upon themselves to kind of do stuff with family and do stuff for yourself. So it's like a little break, but I thought I could do a little video because I've been doing an online course, which I wanted to talk about. I brought back courses. I used to do these in person, and for the longest time I wanted to do courses, meaning where I can do a class that builds up each week. So I'm doing Psychic Development 101, and I started already, and it got me thinking. And so let me just kind of pause there for a minute to let you know my cat's going to make noise, for one, as usual. But for two, if you missed last week's first class, you can still join this course, because really the first class was me explaining all about what the class is going to be like, what to expect, helping you understand these things. And then we went into practicing, which we did very short version of that. The next classes will be longer versions of practicing on each other on how to use your psychic ability, which fits this video today, which is how do you know if you're psychic? So the course will help you develop those types of things. So I was excited because I know I may be late to the game, but I figured out on Zoom how I can create breakout rooms where you two people can go in a room together and read each other. I assign, we do a journey, and it's really awesome. So here's information somewhere over here probably. You can still join, because I'll give you the video of the first class and you'll get the link for the next 3 classes. I also threw up mediumship development, because people are interested in that 101. You have time to join that class. That won't be for some time from now, but I put it up because I know there's 2 camps. Some people want to really develop that, some people don't. So now I have 2 courses that are going to be going into that. Obviously the psychic development class will actually finish up before the mediumship one starts, but I have that going on. And lastly, I have 25% off of my readings just for this week, and with the code TURKEY. So then we should have information here. So for those of you who are going, okay, Adela, let's get to the subject, and I have to pause for my cup, right? Look at that. Look at this cup. I love it so much. I love this cup so much. Okay, so we had to pause for the new cup that I didn't get to show you at when I got it on Halloween. So psychic, how do you know if you're psychic? Psychic and intuitive tends to kind of be in the same camp, meaning like they kind of tend to run around each other. They are pretty much the same thing. So using your intuition is a jumping off point. So I'm going to give you, this isn't like a 5 things to check to see if you're psychic. It's kind of more for you to go, take a pause and go, could this be me? Could I be? Could this fit who I am? Psychic isn't one reading people's mind. It isn't EPS. EPS? ESP. Sorry. No, it isn't like ESP. People think that being psychic means reading someone's mind. It isn't reading someone's mind. And it isn't always prediction, although they do tend to come hand in hand most likely. Being psychic is kind of being able to have a knowing. So if this happens to you a lot where you feel like you have a knowing, and not just sometimes. I don't mean like that one time, 10 years ago, or that one time when you were a kid. I'm talking about this happens all the time. You just look at someone and you have a knowing about them, not a judgment. So you would need to know and discern the difference. Judgment is looking at someone and how they're dressed and how they're behaving, and you have concluded who they are. A knowing is someone could have all the perfect clothes, all the perfect everything, but your knowing's telling you something doesn't smell right about this person. That is kind of a psychic ability. Not kind of, but it is. It's a feeling. And in the course that I'm teaching, that's what I'm getting into, is kind of understanding what your psychic ability might be and helping you hone that. And most importantly, abilities don't stay the same. So there's different senses that we have, and they actually change over time. So meaning, like, if you only feel and get the knowing and you get it on a feeling basis, it may change to visions. It may change to like audible. It may change to like something touching you, like, you getting like a physical reaction to something. Even like holding objects, you may feel like, oh, I feel something from this object. So it changes. Now, if you feel like this happens to you all the time, you meet someone, and I don't mean when you're like, I feel who they are, I feel bad for them, I feel all their problems, because that's kind of more going empathic, although empathic does go into the psychic line, but it just seems to kind of hit the nail on the head so much that you tend to run away from it. So number 2, do you feel like you want to run away from it? Do you feel like this is the last thing you want on your plate? Do you feel like, oh no, really, this is like, I don't want this? Because most people who are psychic aren't running to it. I'm not saying always, but most of the time, it kind of freaks yourself out and you're quiet about it. Number 3, are you quiet about it? Are you someone who tends to kind of go, I don't really want people to know that I know things about them and I see things. Psychic feeling is a big foundation to being psychic, meaning like when you feel and sense, that is the most part of being psychic. Then here's another one. Do you see things? Do you have dreams? Do you have premonitions all the time? Again, not once in a while, not saying that can't be something breaking through and waking up, but is this happening all the time and you get it confirmed? Meaning like you saw it in a dream and then someone told you it happened to them. Maybe you didn't even tell them you saw it, but it's confirmed for you. You got the confirmation. You're like, yep, I got it. I kind of knew that already. And do you feel like at night, dreaming and sleeping in general tends to be difficult? Meaning, like, do you feel like at night you tend to see and feel things more intensely than the day? The reason why I say this is because when the world quiets down, when everyone stops getting busy and running around and getting groceries and doing this and doing that, then we start to kind of feel what the energy is like out there. And so these are things that kind of help you know that you are leaning towards more an intuitive psychic side. Now, I am going to make this very clear. Just because there may be some things you're experiencing that I didn't name doesn't mean you may not have that ability. It doesn't mean this may not be possibly something that you are, you may have this ability yourself. I have to check something. Okay, good. It doesn't mean that, meaning like, you absolutely can have a wealth of a different way, but there are common threads, and I have to be very like fair to say. And one of them is that it does feel more like a curse than a blessing. That's one of the things I look for when people are like, this happens to me and it kind of freaks me out and I'm kind of scared of it, or I feel like I don't want to know these things, but I know these things. And what's importantly is to not worry about being right. Now, leave in the comments below if you feel like, I'm not saying, because I don't want to sit here in every comment telling people if they're psychic or not, but leave in the comments below if you feel like this has been something you've been quiet about. That's what I want to hear. Is this something that you've been scared about? Meaning like, have you been kind of in the closet about it? Have you been in the closet even to yourself where you just don't want to face this about yourself because it's just a little bit too much? The reason why I want you to leave that comment is because we can help each other as a community here on YouTube, but also I can help you kind of not be so afraid, because fear is the number one reason why people tend to not want to look at this. Now, lastly, when you were a child, did you feel like you had all of the above and all of these things, and somehow either you shut it down or other people told you to shut it down? Meaning, do you feel like things like this were so potent? Not a little bit, not once in a while, not once in a blue moon, but so potent. Now, does that mean that if you're sitting here watching this and you say, Dale, I don't have all of those things so intensely, but I still feel like I can do these things, you're right. We all have the capability of seeing. I always say everybody can learn piano. I can learn piano, but I'm not probably going to be a professional piano player, nor, oops, oh, I just play piano now. Nor will I probably even like play piano like on a regular basis. So what I'm saying is there's different levels. Sometimes you just want to learn these things. Even when I'm teaching this course, sometimes you want to learn these things because you want to kind of get comfortable with this about yourself. And I want to say, even for the mediumship course I'm doing, and even in mediumship, which is mediating the dead to the living, it's more about getting comfortable with the spirit world. Some people may take this, and I've taught where people go and they start professionally reading. Absolutely. I hope you do, because I can't be doing this forever. We need more people out there. But also mediumship is sometimes just for yourself, so that you can stop feeling so scared and stop being afraid of the spirit world. And so it isn't always about professionally doing it. It isn't always about telling the world that you do it. You may not be ready for that. I myself didn't tell people for over a year when I was like actually professionally doing this. And so you got to take it in your steps. So I just want to leave you with that. Allow yourself to go with the journey. Find what works for you. Take what I'm giving to you, and I hope it helps. But then there's many other people that have different takes on it, different ideas. You don't have to follow one particular train of thought, meaning you don't have to follow one particular way of going into this psychic world. You can find your own way and take a nice little cauldron and put different ingredients in it and create your own, because that's kind of what I did. I feel like there's truth, so many different truths out there, but you have to go with what you have to go with what connects to you. You have to go with what connects to you. And that's the most important thing. The most important thing is allowing yourself, because if you go with what connects to you, then you know you are definitely following your intuition. Okay, so I hope you utilize this and kind of have fun with this. And this might be a strange one to give you at Thanksgiving, but it is the best time when you're dealing with family and you're dealing with people and you're having to be around people, is to trust your gut. Trust your gut when you're around in a group. If it doesn't feel right, or if you get a read, you can actually, play with your intuition and your psychic abilities amongst people and they don't know. This is a good time to kind of trust your gut. If you want to leave, the dinner, if you want to get there early, use your own psychic ability, especially if you're traveling and things like this. This is the time to allow yourself to trust yourself. My cat's about to jump in the window, so be aware. You're going to hear a loud noise. 1, 2, 3. Not psychic at all. I can just see her. Anyway, follow yourself. Follow no one. Cheers. Have a good holiday for those of you who are in the States. And see you soon.